And okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 19 years old. I've been working on art for about a year now, like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I recently created my website, spacecollections.com.
You have a really good website.
Oh, thank you.
A really good website too.
I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, there's not too much about me. I recently started dabbling into like this 6 months, and then this is my old works. This one's new. I did this with my fingers.
You did this with your fingers?
Yeah, you can tell right here.
That's so. I was also going to ask you about your technique on a few of these pieces, because it just seems like brushstrokes. Specifically this one.
Yeah, this one's just brush.
Just brush. So what kind of brush did you use?
I don't know. This was made a year ago. I think I used just like a round tip. That's what it looks like.
I love that.
Thank you.
Because it gives like a smoky effect, but it's really cool. Do you have an inspiration for when you do pieces like this?
No, most of the time I just don't think about it. I just let it happen. Because it's easier not to think about it. I found that like in the beginning of when I started taking drawing seriously, one of my biggest blocks was like shame. Just like being disappointed with what I was drawing and like putting restrictions as if like, oh, it has to look this certain way or it has to look that certain way. But like that's not what art is about. That's not what expressing yourself is about. It's just letting it be.
And so I assume you just make art mostly for yourself.
Yeah.
That's really good, because I know people struggle with that a lot of, especially in the media, people want to make art for other people and put it out there and get big and famous off of that, but you're very focused on your art and your kind of...
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to like even make something for someone. It just doesn't produce the same results as like...
I agree.
As it would organically. So
when you make your art, like what's the process that you go through? Like what's the, what's your setup?
My setup? Like do I have a ritual before I start? No, not necessarily. I kind of just make art. Like I'm just like, all right, like I'm gonna make some art right now, and then I'll pull out all my supplies and I'll just make it.
That's so cool. Yeah. When was the last time you made art?
Before you guys came.
This one?
Yeah.
Can I take a look at it? Yeah, for sure. Go for it. So you did this in colored pencil.
Yeah.
Because I was like, is there something that's with chalk? Because I guess you scanned it in and I was like, what is this medium? So you do acrylic?
Colored pencil.
Colored pencil. Do you do pen?
I do pen.
Do you pen? Do you do pen on canvas?
Yeah, that one's pen on canvas.
Pen on canvas. What kind of pens do you use?
I use micro pens.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah.
I find it very hard to use pen on canvas, so I think it's really cool that you found a way to utilize it and kind of go crazy. I don't think you attach meaning to anything.
I don't.
That's also like really cool. Like I love artists like who don't attach meaning to anything, because you just leave it up to the viewer to kind of interpret what they want to. Is there any particular feeling that you want, an overall feeling that you want people to feel?
My art name is Space.
Yeah.
I kind of just happened becoming Space, and I feel like that fits me a lot in a sense of like, there's a lot of space in my artworks, and like not even like these pieces, but like in their own sense they have their own space. Like the colors give it space. Because I don't attach meaning to my artworks, it's like nice to have people like, I feel like on top of having space in my artworks, there's space to interpret and there's space to like feel, and like more than anything I just really want people to feel for my artworks, more like just, you know, genuinely, wholesomely, like without any like layers or any like filters. Like it has to have a meaning. Like, do you have an inspiration? Like all these things. Like no, like it just is.
Yeah.
And like that's what I like to convey.
I love that.
Accepting things for what they really are.
That's so raw and so real. That's really real. I think a lot of artists kind of struggle with that, be attaching meaning to things. Like even when I do art, it's so, I'll come up with these ideas and I'll say, okay, well, it doesn't mean anything, so I guess I'm just not going to do it. But that's something I struggle with a lot, and I think other artists do too. So I think it's great that that's not something that you have to go through, because you've already probably gone through that process of like, you know. Is there any particular moment in your life where you just said, I'm going to make this art and I'm not going to let anyone come in the way of it? Like, is there any like struggle moment that you went through with you and your art?
Yeah, absolutely. Like The only reason why I started doing art is like about last year around this time was because like I didn't really have a direction in my life. I didn't really have a drive. I didn't do anything in my life. And I was like, all right, this sucks. Like I have to do something. Like I want to do something. Like what do I enjoy doing? And like I enjoy making art. But like the whole thing about talking about like shame, like, all right, well, what am I gonna make? Like objectively, like I'm really good at copying things, but like I don't find passion, like I don't find joy in copying things. Like drawing a tree is really fun, and like objectively I can do it, but do I want to do it? No, I don't. Yeah. And like I didn't really understand like my style or my meaning or like anything like that. So kind of getting over that block of like shame and like just like knowing, like having like a plan and not being able to stick with that plan because that's not the plan I really want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like a big thing for me. Just like getting over that and like letting myself be.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's really good. And you were probably 18 at the time?
Yeah, 18, 17.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
I love it. I think it's so cool that there are so many young artists that are emerging right now that you don't really hear about, but all of like you just have like a different perspective on it. Because when I was growing up, we're not that old. I'm only 20, whatever. I act like an old person. But when I was growing up, art always had to kind of be something that you show people and be something that is accepted by everyone. But now we're seeing that that's not how it has to be. That's like you make art for yourself and that's perfectly fine. And if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, who cares?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, at least you were happy making something that you were passionate about. Yeah, that's amazing.
At the end of the day, like all we really seek is joy.
And
like joy is the only thing that really matters.
wow, you should really quote that. What do you think in your everyday life, you would say, what has the biggest influence on your artwork?
I don't know, myself. Just like my thoughts and like my feelings. Like I feel like feeling is super important and like acknowledging your feelings. Cause like when I draw, like I'm not really thinking of anything. Like it's kind of like a meditation mode where like all these random thoughts will just like pop in my head and like I don't really acknowledge them. I just perceive them. And like it's interesting to like have all these like junk thoughts in your head, but like you're producing like something you really love and you resonate with. And I think that's interesting.
I love how you have so much confidence in your work. I know some artists are kind of like, like my work's okay. And it's like, it's cool that you're interviewing me for it, but it's okay. But like, I love the confidence that you have in your work because it really does shine that this is your passion.
Thank you.
And that's amazing. Like, it really is amazing. I'm obsessed. Okay, so these are different.
Yeah, that one I'm really proud of too.
I really like this one. Yeah. I like the color blocking that's happening. And like your use of line and shape. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use line and shape the way that you're using it right now.
Thank you. This one was to represent music, reggae.
Yeah, this one was called like Rasta.
Yeah, the Rasta man.
Yeah. This is cool. And this was just brush strokes.
That was the palette knife.
Yeah. Oh, how was working with that? Is that tough sometimes?
No, it's actually like the only thing I worked with when I was in AP art. It was just palette knives. It was like the only thing that got the colors to blend the way I wanted it to blend. And
did you compare your work to others, like early on?
No, but it was a thing where like my art is so different from everybody else's that like if I wanted to seek guidance or like comfort or something like that, you can't really seek something like that because it's so different that you have to seek it within yourself. You know, like how can I create these like non-objective pieces yet have an objective?
Yeah. Which is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Also, while growing up too, it's kind of tough. And then when a teacher says, "Okay, attach meaning to everything," and you're just like, "I don't even know what I want to do yet."
Yeah.
It's tough. You also have a really good eye for color.
Yeah.
Because color theory is really hard, and that's
I've heard color theory mentioned to me so many times.
It's so hard,
I've
but
never
you grasp
it.
Like, you really grasp it. Yeah. Could you pull down that piece by chance? This is when I say you have really good color theory. This is what I'm talking about because you've somehow taken these colors that are pretty calm for the most part, but you've created this very vibrant piece, and it just flows.
Thank you.
It flows so well.
So that was like my experimental piece.
You don't like it that much?
I like it, but it's
But I think you prefer more breathable pieces, it seems like.
Yeah, I just feel like I could have done this one better. Like,
what would you have done differently?
You know what, you're right. I wouldn't have done anything differently. This is exactly what it is.
It's perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really good. It's really good.
Thank you.
I think it's interesting that you incorporate a lot of yourself into your artwork too.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I think people struggle with, is that they are so focused on putting everyone else in their artwork and they forget to focus on themselves.
Yeah.
And this is clearly like a really good therapy for you too.
Yeah, it really is. It's definitely like opened a lot of things about me, like just like how I express myself, how I feel about myself, like the way I approach things. Like, why do I give up on something so soon just because I don't like it? Like, you know, like, why do I not just keep going with it? Why do I feel like it's imperfect just because it has one little thing that I don't like about it? Why do I think it destroys the whole thing? Like, it doesn't. I could just continue to add on to it, and like I continue to alter it, and like to make it how I really want it to be, you know?
It's all about being optimistic and being present in your artwork.
Yeah, just being open, like even to yourself, because like, yeah, like we do make mistakes, but like it's really just opportunities.
I love that. I love the way that you feel about your artwork and the way you feel about life too. And I think I said when you emailed me, I was just like, I love her. Like, I definitely want to interview her because you were so authentically yourself and you shine, and it shows in your artwork, but it also shows in you as a person, and don't ever lose that, because it's honestly like so amazing. And to only be 19, like,
thank you.
Girl, you're good.